Listen at your own risk. America's first competition talk show.
The Hub is engaging.
Talk life.
Good day and welcome to the Hub Internet Show, America's first competition talk show. I'm your host, Joel Aaron, joined all week long by Damon, Jared, and Tom. Jared choking down a cigar right now on the program because he is fiercely capitalistic. You are like John D. Rockefeller.
It's the victory cigar. I'm celebrating as the grand champion of the Hub.
Is that what it is?
That's
the
what
grand
it is.
Pumbaa of everything.
Dr. Freedom's got nothing on me.
He's entered the race for Lieutenant Governor of Georgia.
I know, and he's stealing from me, as I'm the only write-in candidate that's had actually received votes in a poll for Lieutenant Governor.
He's taking your write-in votes on
Johnny come lately, and we're going to drum him right out of the race.
There we go. All right. There's an interesting thing going on right now in Ridgeway, Colorado. There's a gentleman by the name of Tom Hennessy who owns a pub there, and he has found a way to increase voter turnout. Make it mandatory to turn out to vote. And he's putting this down. He's throwing this down in Ridgeway. He's saying, yes, every resident of Ridgeview, Colorado must show up at the ballot box on election day. And he's getting a lot of flack. And it's not just your right in Ridgeway if this goes through. It's your responsibility, Jared. How do you feel about exercising your rights and obligations?
It is Colorado, so maybe this would be accepted. But why don't we just make everybody own a gun as well?
And works in Woodstock, Georgia.
Kennesaw. It's Kennesaw. Works in Kennesaw, where I'm a proud resident. Where I'm a proud resident and do willfully comply with that law. But if you made everybody own a gun, in most places in this country, people would say, "Oh, no." So if you can't make everybody own a gun, which is a right in the Second Amendment, why should you make everybody vote?
Well, and here's the rich irony here. I love rich irony because I love wealth. Eric Sanford is a non-voting resident in Ridgeway, and he is the one who's saying right now that he will be the first to proudly take on the privilege of being the first to file a lawsuit against the town of Ridgeway and individual members of the town council if they go through with this. I love this because they are now suing for the right not to vote. David, Twilight Zone here.
Listen, I think this is a bad idea because the reality is if you make everybody vote, you're going to get like Snoopy for city council members. Because, I mean, think about it. People who are not interested will vote for whomever. They'll vote for the prettiest candidate, the guy who has the nicest billboard. I mean, you will.
They might write me in for lieutenant governor.
Yeah, I mean, you will get ridiculous outcomes.
Yeah.
Listen, if you don't want to vote, don't vote. If you want to vote, participate. It shouldn't be mandatory.
Tom?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, I think there are people that we just don't really want to have voting.
Exactly. Well, you got idiots out there.
I mean, no, seriously, if somebody doesn't really care enough to vote, do we really want to force them into the ballot box to start, throwing votes? I mean, because they're just going to eeny, meeny, miny, moe, or who knows what they're going to do.
I mean, the first bad sign, I'm standing in line, and I'm having a conversation with a 21-year-old about Lady Gaga's newest song. I know the country's going down the crapper. Immediately know this.
You haven't voted in a while either, have you?
Yeah, apparently. When did she come out in last year? Okay, so we all agree, so let's move on. The big topic of discussion right now is something that Barack Obama said last week before his stand-up comedy tour with the White House and at the White House press dinner. And he happened to mention in a speech last week. Where was he when he said this? Quincy, Illinois. He said that some folks should just understand that at some point you may have made enough money, and you just need to realize this fact and live within your means. And I guess at some point you made enough money. I mean, he made the estimates are from his federal income tax form 1040 last year. He made in excess of $5.5 million.
Yeah.
So has he made enough money or not, or is this a cheap demonization of the president?
Was that really his quote? I thought he was that he thought that at some point you make enough money, but he's not saying that should be mandated that others can't make as much as they want. Look, I didn't vote for Barack. I'm not a Barack supporter, but I don't want to unfairly attack him.
Jared, who's a fascist, is definitely Nice.
All left-leaning people like Barack Obama. No, I'm not. I'm pretty sure I've heard this quote now. I've heard it 4 or 5 times today, just before getting here. So, it's pretty clear cut that at some point you've just made enough money. Period. That was his statement, and it's ludicrous. I mean, he made $5.5 million. I don't begrudge him for any of that, and that's $5.5 million. That's his adjusted gross income. That's not what he made. That's what he was taxed on.
Exactly.
And God knows how many write-offs are on the lines above that.
Well, and you got to understand this about the print publishing industry. I mean, ultimately, you do anything of any significance whatsoever in your life, if you pay your bills on time for the 30 plus years of your life without missing a payment, some book publisher is going to come to you and ask you to write a book about how one is to be consistent in their life and the practical affairs of their life. They will find a way to get you to write a book if there's any significance to your life whatsoever, because that's the publishing industry. So, I mean, to say, I got a book out doesn't mean much to me anyway. So,
listen, I mean, this is emblematic of the issue we all on the right all have with Barack Obama. Is he clearly believes in the nanny state. He clearly believes. Let's face it, the guy's a liberal. I mean,
but is he a socialist?
Well, I tell you, comments like this really make you want to believe that he is. I mean, you really, it's tough to argue that he's not.
Well, he's certainly sympathetic to socialists.
Certainly. I mean,
I'll say it. He's a socialist. I'm not even sympathetic. He's sympathetic because he is one.
I don't want to call the president of the United States a socialist because I just want to believe better. I want to believe more in our president. But he certainly is leaning that way.
He's socialistic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he has wide tendencies toward it.
He's a socialist.
Yeah. That gives you a wide margin, doesn't it? All right, so here's the thing. In 2 of the years that the Obamas, they've actually gone back because they were trying to think, okay, this man makes this kind of a claim. How stingy are the Obamas?
Now, see, that's the real story.
And this is the real story. In the 2 years that they've discovered it, the Obamas gave far less than 1% of their income to charity. And we all feel bad about this, but think about it. If that 1% went to a better money manager that got a 10% rate of return over some guy that went to a Trinity Church of whatever down the street that got a 3% rate of return on the 10% they gave, then I'm better off in the long run. The real question is, whose Jesus is a better manager of capital gains? And that really is the question you should be asking, Tom. You never know. He might have lucked out.
What are you talking about?
We don't know.
Jesus and rate of return.
Yeah, I can't get on him for giving or not giving because I'm going to be morally consistent on this one too, because this is actually one of those things where when liberals don't give to charity, it actually is consistent on their part because they don't believe in giving to charities like you're talking about. They don't believe in Joe Blow walking down to Must Ministries and cutting a check. What they believe in is Joe Blow wait until April 15th or sooner and sending his check into the government for them to send it to the charities and to the people that they think need it most. Yeah. So the fact that he paid his taxes, I'm sure he thinks he's free and clear on it, and he's being absolutely consistent. I have a problem with that, but I'm not going to get on to him because he chose to do something different with his money.
Yeah, and let's look at this. Let's flip this on its head. It's never going to happen during this administration, but why not have more incentive for private charitable giving? Why not give more income? Why not give more tax breaks and incentives to folks who are willing to put 6, 10, 15, 20%?
Because it takes power out of the hands of the politicians.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And that's
he wants all the power. And again, this gets back to the fact that this is the president. This is a man who really wants the government to help people versus private organizations, religious organizations to really help people. So I agree with you, Jared. He doesn't want to give to the church.
We're so agreeable, it's sickening. If you disagree, please come on the show. Shoot me an email.
Hey,
Joel, Joel, @tvtownhall.com. We'll see you tomorrow on The Hub.